In the cold, calculating universe of interstellar warfare, victory was a matter of precision. Entire civilizations had risen and fallen based on the strength of their technology, the intelligence of their battle algorithms, and the destructive efficiency of their weaponry. War, to the great empires of the cosmos, was not chaos. It was not passion, it was a science, one that followed strict mathematical laws. Among those who had mastered it, none stood as tall as the Xel'Nar Empire. For centuries, the Xel'Nar had been the undisputed apex of military power. Their empire stretched across 12 star systems, their fleets were indomitable, and their warriors operated with cold, machine-like precision. The foundation of their dominance was a doctrine that had never failed them, a doctrine built on overwhelming firepower, impenetrable defenses, and battle strategies dictated by highly advanced artificial intelligence. Their war algorithms could predict enemy movements before they even happened. Their adaptive exo-armor neutralized any known form of energy-based attack. Their battles were not fought, they were calculated. No species had ever withstood them for long. Those who fought were annihilated. Those who surrendered were assimilated. The pattern repeated itself with every new war. The Xel'Nar believed it was an inevitable truth of the universe: the weak perished, and the strong imposed order. Then, they encountered humanity. The war began as they all did. A Xel'Nar fleet arrived over Varka-7, a human colony world on the outermost edge of their expansion path. To the Xel'Nar, it was nothing more than another minor acquisition, a stepping stone toward further conquest. They deployed their standard invasion tactics: shock and awe, precision strikes, and rapid disintegration of enemy defenses. Their plasma bombardments reduced military fortifications to molten slag in hours. Advanced targeting drones eliminated human officers before they could even issue commands. Their warriors landed in perfect formation, their AI commanding them with flawless efficiency. The war was supposed to last 3 days. At first, everything went according to plan. The humans, despite their stubborn resistance, were technologically inferior. Their weapons were crude by Xel'Nar standards. Their defenses fell as predicted. The Empire's battle simulators calculated a 99.7% probability of victory. The humans would either be exterminated or forced to surrender. Then, something impossible happened. The first reports of unorthodox resistance tactics came in within the first 48 hours. The reports made little sense to the Xel'Nar commanders. Humans were fighting in ways that defied all logic. They did not retreat when overwhelmed. They did not surrender when outgunned. Instead, they did something no advanced species had ever done before. They adapted. Deep within the ruins of a human military outpost, a small squad of soldiers, led by a man named Sergeant Cole, found themselves cornered. Their energy weapons had long since been depleted. Their supplies were gone. The Xel'Nar warriors advanced toward them, certain of victory. Cole's rifle clicked empty. The plasma battery was dead. His squad had nothing left: no bullets, no explosives, no hope. And then, instinct took over. Cole's eyes darted across the debris. His hand closed around something lying on the ground, a broken metal pipe, jagged at one end. Without thinking, without hesitation, he lunged forward and swung. The pipe connected with the Xel'Nar warrior's helmet with a sharp, metallic crack. Sparks erupted from the impact point. The warrior staggered back, disoriented. Its AI-driven targeting system faltered, unable to comprehend what had just happened. Cole's squad, seeing their leader attack with something so primitive, followed his lead. They grabbed whatever they could: rocks, shattered armor plating, even their own helmets, and began striking back. It was an insignificant moment, a desperate act of survival. But it was also the moment that changed the course of intergalactic warfare forever. The Xel'Nar's entire military doctrine was based on energy warfare. Their armor was designed to dissipate directed energy blasts, rendering plasma and laser weapons ineffective. But it had never been built to withstand raw, physical force. Their combat AI was programmed to counter energy-based attacks, calculating angles, speeds, and impact points, but it had no response for an unpredictable, chaotic melee. Their targeting systems locked onto thermal and radiation signatures, but a swinging club had no energy output. To the AI, it was almost invisible. For the first time in their history, the Xel'Nar warriors hesitated. And in war, hesitation is death. Across the battlefield, reports of similar incidents poured in. Human soldiers, running out of ammunition, were using anything they could find as weapons. They wielded crowbars, steel rods, and even sharpened sticks. They charged into melee combat with fists, boots, and sheer, animalistic aggression. And to the Xel'Nar's horror, these primitive attacks worked. The problem was catastrophic. The Xel'Nar army was entirely dependent on its AI battle coordinators. Their warriors were trained to fight with perfect precision, but only within the parameters of energy-based warfare. Their strategies relied on predicting plasma trajectories, not dodging wild, chaotic swings from desperate human fighters. Their exo-armor, so advanced that it could absorb the heat of a star, crumpled under repeated blunt force trauma. The battlefield AI, unable to process this new, illogical style of combat, began issuing contradictory orders. Formations collapsed, warriors hesitated, commanders panicked. The Xel'Nar, for the first time in their long history, were losing. But the real damage was not just on Varka-7. The moment news of the Xel'Nar's weakness spread, the galaxy changed forever. For centuries, countless civilizations had lived in fear of the Xel'Nar war machine. But now, they had seen the impossible. The invincible empire, the conquerors of 12 star systems, had been beaten with sticks and fists. Rebellions ignited across the empire. Resistance movements that had long been suppressed now saw a path to victory. Guerrilla fighters abandoned their failing energy weapons in favor of clubs, spears, and makeshift melee weapons. Entire planets, once resigned to Xel'Nar rule, rose up in defiance. The Xel'Nar High Command scrambled to adapt. They rewrote their battle doctrines, integrating melee combat training. They overhauled their AI systems, forcing them to account for randomized physical aggression. Their armor was redesigned to withstand solid impacts. But it was too late. The illusion of their invincibility had been shattered. Today, in a museum deep within human space, an unremarkable object sits inside a protective display case. It is not a plasma rifle, nor a high-tech relic of war. It is a simple, broken metal rod. A crude weapon, something no advanced species would have ever considered using. Yet, beneath it, a plaque reads, "The weapon that rewrote the rules of war." The galaxy learned a hard lesson that day. The Xel'Nar had believed war was a matter of intelligence, precision, and superior technology. They had thought themselves untouchable. But in the end, they were not defeated by superior firepower. They were not outmatched by more advanced weapons. They were undone by something far older, far simpler, far more terrifying. They were undone by humanity.